What, from your point of view, are the crucial elements if you want to turn pro as an athlete? Because becoming a pro is anything but easy, and you can make plenty of mistakes on the way, especially as a young athlete. I too made numerous mistakes when I was a young athlete, and I wish I had known more about the crucial elements I want to share with you today so that you can avoid these mistakes. The first element, I think that's pretty obvious. You need a good coach. So your coach should have a broad experience in technical aspects, tactical aspects. Ideally also, of course, in physical aspects and in mental aspects. So he doesn't necessarily need to be a mental coach, but of course he should have some kind of emotional intelligence. So he definitely needs to be loyal. He needs to be trustworthy. You need to feel comfortable when going to training. It's not done with spreading this kind of fear or anxiety. I never felt comfortable actually with coaches like that, where you more or less, you didn't want to go to training because you knew exactly, maybe today he's gonna be shouting again and I don't know what to expect. I don't think this is a good basis for improvement and for success in the long run. Maybe in the short term, but not in the long term. So find the right coach for yourself where you feel comfortable and also where you have fun. But when talking about fun, of course, there needs to be a healthy balance between fun and concentrated training. So a good coach knows exactly when it's fun time and when he needs to be strict. A good coach also asks you quite a lot of questions. So he doesn't always give you the solution right away. He wants to know your opinion. He wants to know solutions from you so that you can develop not only as an athlete but also as a person. And he knows exactly about your weaknesses and your strengths. And he wants to emphasize the strengths, and so that you don't have the feeling, oh, I'm missing this and that, so I can never become a professional athlete. But instead he knows exactly when and how much he needs to focus on your strengths. This is your USP, so your unique selling proposition in the future. So this is what's gonna differentiate you from the rest out there. So maybe you're extremely good in tennis on your forehand, or in putting as a golf pro. Maybe it's your footwork, maybe it's your mental strength. And he will emphasize this over and over again so that you also believe in yourself, your skills and your strengths. Okay, then let's move on to component number 2. That's from my point of view absolutely crucial if you want to go pro. Depending on your sport, of course, is physical strength. You need a physical trainer at some point, because if you are physically strong, you have much more confidence in yourself, in your skills, in your body. And on top, this is also injury prevention. So if you're in good shape, you will usually have less injuries. And it'll help you in so many other aspects, as power, in speed, in stability. No matter what it is and what you need for your sport, focus on your physical strength and look for someone who can support you in this. What's really important when you're working together with a physical coach, of course, is that you get an individual plan. So it's nothing that's for everyone, because you need to get something that is specifically for you, tailor-made for you and your needs, so that you can work on your weaknesses and your strength at the same time. Then let's move on to component number 3. It's the mental side. If you want to be successful in life, and especially in sports, you need to be a mental monster. And this is nothing that we are born with. You need to work on your mental strength just as you work on your skills in your sport, on your physical strength or your tactical aspects. It doesn't matter what it is, the mental side is crucial. You can be the most talented and gifted person out there. If you don't have a strong mindset and the right mindset, you're going to fail. Or at least you won't manage to become a professional athlete, that's for sure. So I would highly suggest find the right mental coach for you. Someone that's like your coach, trustworthy, loyal, that you can also have some fun with, but you can work also very, very focused on. And especially that you get an individual plan. It needs to fit you, it needs to fit to your situation. So if you need to work on your focus and your concentration, then of course you work on that in the first instance and the rest comes later. If you instead need to work on your goal setting and your vision, then you go for that. Or if you need to work on your fear of failure, then you need to work with some stress reduction tools that help you getting rid of that. By the way, if you want to know more about how you can beat the fear of failure, check out this video up here. Then let's move on to component number 4, that's crucial. If you want to become a pro athlete, it's the nutrition. And I would highly recommend that you look for an appropriate nutrition counseling. I did the same as a young player, and I can tell you it was an absolute game changer. And even exhausting training sessions and matches didn't do any harm to me, and I was on a top level again the next day. Simply because I found the perfect mix for me of physical fitness and nutrition before a match, during a match, and especially afterwards, so that I could recover really quickly and then peak perform the next day again. And on top, nutrition can make a huge difference when you suffer some inflammations. I had this a couple of years ago. I had a chronic inflammation in my arm when doing the surf. I was playing tennis with big pain all the time. Then I went to the nutrition counseling, and what happened? She recommended that I should reduce sugar as much as I can. So for example, when I drank my coffee or my tea, I avoided the sugar. And on top, I avoided milk with the lactose inside. And I couldn't believe it, 10 days after I changed my nutrition plan, the pain was gone. And since then, I don't have any pain anymore. Maybe you will also find out that some things that you've been eating or drinking so far, they do more harm than they actually do good to you and your performance level and the way you feel like. Try it out, talk to a nutrition counseling, I can highly recommend it. And you don't have to do this on a regular basis, that's the cool thing about it. Even if you do it maybe just, you get some counseling for let's say 1, 2, 3 times, and you find out what makes sense for you and what doesn't make sense for you. Try it out and then see what happens. You have nothing to lose. You can only win. Then let's move on to component number 5, which is crucial when you want to become a pro athlete. It's your sleeping habits. No, I mean, nowadays we know so much more about sleeping habits, sleeping cycles, and good and bad habits than a few years ago. But let's summarize just the most important things and really easy to install in your daily routine or your sleep routine. Number 1 is make sure that you have a regular sleep rhythm. So ideally you go to bed at the same time through the week and you wake up in the morning at the same time during the week. This will help you and your body to get used to this rhythm, and most probably you won't even need an alarm anymore after a few days or weeks, because your body has got used to the rhythm, and this will help you also to recover faster and get enough sleep. Number 2 is some athletes, some pro athletes, and I do the same, they sleep in sleep cycles. So a sleep cycle lasts for about 90 minutes. So if you sleep, for example, 7.5 hours per night, this is 5 cycles. And there are some studies that say you need an average, the average person needs about 35 cycles per week. So that would be 7.5 hours per night in average. Maybe you want to try it out. For me, it works perfectly. I don't need an alarm in the morning if I stick to my cycles. And if I make sure that I get enough cycles through the week, so the 35 cycles. Another thing is avoid blue light before going to bed. Maybe you've heard about this already, but try to avoid looking at your smartphone or your tablet between, let's say, 1 and 2 hours before going to bed. Instead, do something else, prepare the next day, pack your stuff, your bag, get your things done, and then go to bed, read a little bit, but avoid digital devices. This will help you avoid sleeping badly or just maybe not getting into the deep sleep. And one more thing, make sure that your bedroom, ideally, it's not too warm, and one more thing is your bed. And one more important topic about sleep is the bedroom. So make sure that it's completely dark, ideally, that it's not too warm, that you don't have any noise, that you don't have any digital devices there. And this will help you also to get a high quality of sleep so that you wake up in the morning and you feel refreshed. And last but not least, the last component that is absolutely crucial and still neglected here and there, get enough recovery if you want to be or become a pro athlete, to avoid injuries, to avoid fatigue, and also to recover faster after training and competition. And we want to distinguish between active and passive recovery. We've already discussed or talked about passive recovery, that would be sleep. So make sure that you get enough high quality sleep. And what we could add here is take a power nap, have a power nap in the afternoon maybe. Make sure it's not longer than 25 minutes. If you feel a bit sleepy and you have the time, set your alarm, 25 minutes max, and you will feel much more refreshed afterwards. But when we're talking about active recovery, so what's that? That could be like you go to the massage, you do some sauna, you do some yoga in the morning just to get into the day, or you even do some stretching in the morning, and of course after every training, after every competition, after every game, you do some exercises, some stretching exercises. This will help you recover faster and avoid injuries at the same time. What you could also do is spend some time in nature. So go for a walk or even go on a hiking trip. Maybe it doesn't have to be 8 hours. Maybe you just go for half a day and go for 3 or 4 hours on a hiking trip. This will help you also digest maybe a previous match or previous training, and you will find some solutions suddenly, even though you're not actually looking for solutions, but suddenly you get a solution for a problem, simply because you are moving your body, and when your body is moving, your mind starts also moving. And it's much easier to find solutions, by the way, when you go for a walk, a longer walk, than sitting in front of or at your desk and you're deliberately contemplating on a topic and you're looking for a solution. So go for a walk, spend time in nature, and you will recover, you will be refreshed, you will enjoy some time in nature, which is good for our soul and our mind, and ideally you find some solutions also. What you could also do is socialize with some good friends and family around you, but make sure that these people they are positive. They have a positive impact on you. So they are energizing you. They are not taking energy from you. That's super important, especially when you want to become a pro athlete. There are so many people out there, that they say, well, do you think you're good enough? And are you on the right path? Don't you think the others are better than you? I mean, this is something you really have to avoid. Make sure that you have the the right people around you. They need to strengthen you, and they believe in you, and that's really important. What you could also do is spend some time in silence in general. So this could be in nature, as we said already, or when going out for a walk. Or it could also be a meditation. So spend time with yourself and in silence. This will also help on you and reflecting on maybe your current situation, reflecting on what has happened in the previous training session or competition. And this will help you also find also solutions for the upcoming training, upcoming competition, what you can improve maybe, or what you could do better in the future. So all this together is, from my point of view, absolutely crucial if you want to become a professional athlete. So you ideally have these 6 elements in your toolbox on your way to becoming a professional athlete. And in case you would like to get some professional support on the mental side, feel free to get in touch with me via the Tidecare link below. I'd be happy to support you in your mental strength and on your way to becoming a professional athlete. Make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye.